Hello, friends. This is Anand Jha, and I am from Nili Games and Future Technologies. We have an amazing panel, and we're going to talk about AI in game development. We have Ashutosh Pandey from 360 Bright Media, Nikhil Malankar from Game On Studios, and Vaibhav Mahajan from Abracadabra Solutions Private Limited. So, how are you, guys?
You all are good. We all are good.
Great, great,
Great,
Anand.
great. Great,
Fantastic.
great. So, so actually, AI is it's not a buzz word at the moment. I mean, people are actually accepting artificial intelligence, right? Great.
Correct,
So,
correct.
yeah. So Nikhil, I have a question for you. So,
Yeah.
how is AI helping shape large-scale open-world project like Mumbai Gullies at Game On Studios?
So first and foremost, I wish that AI would have arrived sooner than later right now. Because when we started our journey in 2020, 2021, at that time we had to do a lot of manual work. Like making a character used to take us like a long, like months and months of effort, which is what we can now do in a fraction of time, right? Like that, we have started to explore AI in a lot of our production pipeline that has helped us speed up our work. Now, of course, we've definitely lost a lot of time in the past because we were trying to figure things out by ourselves. But whatever mistakes we've done in the past, with AI, we are able to make those mistakes at a much faster rate, which is where we also realize what not to do, and that helps us refine on what we should do. So definitely, when it comes to an open world game, the production challenges are massive. It's There's a lot of things that you have to take into account, and AI has helped us streamline all of that and make those decisions at a faster rate. So yeah, I mean, a couple of things I can recall is like concept art, that pipeline has sped up. Character generation, like 3D character art right now, we are also working with a few partners that are helping us make characters at a much faster rate. Then refining game design documents, actually writing them down, that also consumes a lot of man hours, right? So yeah, these are some of the areas that AI has helped us speed up in our development pipelines.
So your project is open world, right?
Yeah.
It, so somebody in 2025, if they want to create open world, what tools or what do you think how they can take the help of artificial intelligence?
So certainly, like if they want to make games for games in open world category, optimization and fundamental knowledge should be definitely at the top. I'm not saying that AI will magically do everything for you. No, you need to know the fundamentals. You need to know the basics. You need to know what the difference between a 3D and 2D is. You need to know optimization techniques. You need to know, like for example, what is the good type of lighting, or what is baking, and all those fundamental concepts you need to know. What AI will do is it will help you give all those frameworks at a much faster rate. So I think for programmers, I can recommend Claude. Claude is very good tool for generating your code snippets and whatnot. And then if you want to experiment with 3D, then Meshi.ai is a very good tool for generating 3D assets. Although like most of these tools are still in their early stages, so you still have to do a lot of R&D on them itself. But I think if you just explore a little, I'm pretty sure that you will be able to find out production hacks that will help you not just optimize your time but also optimize your quality. So yeah, that those are my 2 cents.
That's awesome. So Ashutosh, how is AI helping you create more immersive AR VR experience at 360 Bright Media?
Thank you so much, Anand Ji, for inviting me. Yeah, of course, as Nikhil said, that a lot of things have come up now to execution in designing and developing the game and making the characters. We all are using now AI tools for creating the characters, using the animations, uh, creating the codes, even designing and visions from. So as I said, like from the scratch to developing in the game and execution in the game and posting on those different on servers and deploying on the VR etc or AR tools. So we are everywhere we are using AI, but of course, as Nikhil said, this is not the magic that we are creating with AI. We have to be very careful using, and we should also knew the basic things, using how to use these tools and proper responding and using proper prompt and creating the things and Of course, there are a lot of things like debugging and everything execution from our end. But yes, AI is helping us creating games in a faster way.
So, is there any difference between uh, using AI in virtual reality, augmented reality, and in gaming?
Yeah, the lot of changes now came. As I say, uh, from the beginning, we started when we started developing VR AR game. So we have to work on a lot of basic things. Each in every point, we have to look around things. If anything we faces problem, we go to certain blogs or maybe in certain groups, and we taking help from the other community members. But now we are using AI tools, and it gives you very smooth and very transparent gamification, and giving the proper tool to work on the game and giving the delivery on the faster side.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, Vaibhav, how is AI helping you gamify educational content more effectively for diverse learner audience?
Hello, Anand. Actually, so good to have you over here. Actually, AI has been a phenomenon since last 2 years, and as we are trying to touch this area, like we are trying to adopt the policy, stream policy, which is like new education policy for India in gaming. So we have been using AI quite extensively because it's so easy and it's so cost effective to implement these kind of things and then try out different things, different scenarios, different you know uh, game mechanics using AI. So like there are like various options available in terms of coding. You have Tor in terms of character designing. You have a lot of plugins available by Unity and Unreal, which you can make use of, and then you can shorten the period of creating all the assets, whether it can be a graphical asset or even music that also can be AI-fied. So it's tremendous, actually. I mean, like Nikhil told that we are in phenomenal times right now to explore ideas in gaming and to offer content which makes sense for you know students of all categories, from like kindergarten to even PhDs. So everything can have scope, and everything is improving actually. And with the power of AI, which is improving, with NVIDIA creating more and more, complex and power packed chipsets, definitely we can see a lot more is to happen.
Okay, and how about the gamify thing using artificial intelligence, which means the automate things under the gamification.
Yeah, I mean, for example, you can change the background automatically. For example, if you are in a game, you can do a lot in terms of changing the experience. You can change the seasons within no time on the fly. You can create a lot of variations in terms of puzzles. For example, if I'm developing an educational game and I just want to teach spellings to my end user, then there can be a game like Snake, where the snake should eat all the characters in a fashion the spelling is correct. So that can be done very easily with Todd. You can create the code in minutes. You just need to specify what exactly you want to develop, and you can get the code actually. And you can tweak that uh, as per your convenience. You can give a different experience. That's what it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Nikhil, what AI tools or workflow do you find most useful for streamlining your production and indie game development as well?
So definitely nowadays my best friend has become ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure my real best friends will take huge offense on this, but it is what it is. ChatGPT has been so beneficial. In fact, last week I actually did an AI game development boot camp. It was a week-long boot camp, about 6 hours of content, 6 hours of live session, and in that 6 hours, I was able to make a basic prototype of Age of Empires. Now, Age of Empires, if we want to make a game like that, so complicated, it has so many systems. you have to think so much, right? But with ChatGPT, you can actually give it the prompts. It's basically like prompt engineering, right? But at the end of the day, you still have to sit there as a human being and refine all of the things, because still AI can make mistakes, right? And I firmly believe that no matter how advanced AI becomes, there will still be one human at the end of the spectrum who will actually be the responsible for creating these games. Because like I have a very simple logic: AI may be able to create games, but AI will not sit and play games, right? So the
Exactly.
consumption will always happen from by humans, because humans inherently want to entertain themselves. And additionally, what will happen is humans have these creative ideas on what to make, right? So definitely, like even in the future, a lot of humans will still be responsible to make these experiences. Now, having said so, ChatGPT is one such framework, because now their model also helps you to generate images, and now image generation has also become so much more better with the new models in ChatGPT. Additionally, Claude is very good for writing code, as Vaibhav also mentioned. I'm very excited to see Google's VO3 video generation capabilities, because right now we just saw how the entire world was blown away because of Google I/O's announcement of VO3, and the videos look so realistic. So I'm very excited to see how we can use VO3 to create cutscenes for our games, because cutscene generation is like super expensive as of this moment. You have to have like motion capture suits, you need to hire actors, you need to hire a studio. It's extremely expensive. But imagine if you just give a prompt to VO3, and that you give an art style of your game to VO3, it will probably be able to generate an entire cutscene for you at a fraction of the cost of what it typically costs for you to do that mocap. So these are a couple of frameworks that we are starting to explore and use in our day-to-day pipelines.
Great. There is a question actually just came, and I think that is relevant to you. So, what are some successful examples of AI-driven games features? And second is, how can AI be used to optimize performance and resource management in games?
So I think a lot of the content generation is happening via AI. I think Fortnite is one of the best examples in recent times because of their avatars and all. That is one very good use case, industry use case, and a lot of big corporations are also now starting to use AI, generative AI, to make content. The second question is, how can AI be used to optimize performance and resource management in games? Well, I think there is one very good tool that you can use. It's called Google AI Studio. And recently, what I observed is with Google AI Studio, you can actually capture your screen. You can talk to that AI, and the AI will give you prompts on what needs to be done. So, whatever doubts you had, like gone are the days of ChatGPT, gone are the days of Stack Overflow, gone are the days of Google, wherein you went to Google and type your queries, and you had to wait for other people to respond to your queries. Now all those queries can be asked directly to ChatGPT or Claude, and they will be able to give you custom tailored responses for that. Like, you can literally feed it information that I am using Unity version 6 and so subversion. Help me refine and identify where is the profiler, where can I see that option and all. So using all of these tools, that optimization process is going to be super duper amazing, because all the information that there is out there is being actively fed to all these AI models, and they keep on learning based on the data that they keep on getting, right? So I think it's going to be fantastic. We are living in one of the most wildest times out there, actually.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Mr. Ashutosh, what role does AI play in real-time interaction and personalization in virtual environment?
So basically, AI makes virtual environment very smartly and very adaptive, where you can play, you can move, you can speak, and you can react. So these are the things we can manipulate and we can customize according to ourselves, and we can generate the games with a real time environment. That can be changed your experience in real time, and much more stylization, different stylization we can create. So this could be a very like AI is generating a lot of things, and it's a gesture based, your voice modules. So all things can be engaging and personalizing with the realistic time, and this can be help us to create a more effective and more realistic games.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, Vaibhav, how abracadabra is actually uh, leveraging this artificial intelligence in your daily day-to-day activities?
Oh wow, that's a good question actually. Well, every aspect of game development. For example, when we create characters, 3D characters especially, so you need to do skinning, they need to do rigging, they need to do, a lot of changes on top of it in terms of texturing, the costumes, and so on and so forth. So all those things can be used, or these things. While doing these things, actually, you can take help of AI plugins or AI platforms. And apart from that, even if it is testing of the game, AI can help you out. Even if it is, trying out different concept art, you can also talk that with ChatGPT, and you can get a lot of options, and you can try it out. With again, other sets of tools, which would facilitate you, quickly change things and try and see whether it is working or not. So every aspect of game development has been phenomenally changed since last 1 or 2 years, and it is taking less amount of time to develop same content. So that's the game changer.
Great, great. Like it at Nili Games, we are actually started using artificial intelligence since last 1.5 years,
Mhm.
and we have created 5 games within a span of, I think, 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and that were 3D games.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes sense actually.
yeah. So it is all about how better you use the tools. That is very important.
Yep.
The prompt
Yeah,
is very
creative.
important, and also filtration of the coding.
Exactly, exactly.
So
The recent AI,
people think that
we are the
they just have to give a prompt and they just copy and paste it and it will start working out. That's not like,
and we
not
we
really
all are
simple.
the witness of artificial intelligence AI game jam, which held at Indian Institute of Creative Skills at
Yeah.
Delhi,
Really
right?
Yeah.
correct.
Now within 9 hours, people actually have created awesome
Games.
games.
Hmm.
And that was an experience, for the industry as well.
Yeah, great, great. Yeah, yeah, that was help to make sure that AI is actually coming, and we need to accept that. Awesome. Nikhil, there is another question from our audience, that uh, how are smaller indie studios approaching the adaptation of AI tools compared to larger AAA developers, especially when it comes to resource experimentations and integration into workflow?
Yeah, I mean, Saurabh, what you've asked is pretty interesting because today, like we are living in age and time where we have first had access to all the tools that the Western developers had, like in form of game engines and all. But today we have knowledge base that all these Western developers had integrated into Chat GPT. Like for example, if you're an indie game developer, you can find all the hacks and tricks that these AAA game developers follow just from asking ChatGPT the right prompts. You just need to know what you need to ask, and you will get the answer for it. So gone are the days when you also had to wait for another human to respond to your query, because all these technical forums and all, basically they were that you ask your query and you wait for a human to respond. But now you've got ChatGPT, you've got Claude, you've got 10 other tools out there wherein you can just ask that prompt and get answer to that instantly. Of course, now if you know your foundational knowledge well, you will be able to figure out what information you're getting, it is right or wrong. So for example, like when I was also coding this Age of Empires prototype, there were a few instances where AI was giving me wrong prompts. There were a few instances where I was not getting the desired output. Now I need to be proficient enough that I identify my code block and I see that okay, this prompt generated by ChatGPT, this particular code block is not correct. So when it comes to indie game developers, this it is like AI is going to put their processes on steroids. It's as simple as that. AI is going to put your processes on steroids, and you will be able to achieve output at a much faster rate. Like how Anand said, you were able to make 5 3D games in a matter of 3 months, right? That speaks volumes of what lies ahead. Like for example, in the early 90s or late 90s, If someone had to make a game, they had to rely on C++, they had to rely on all these open GL libraries and all. They had to write their own physics engines. Then came the age of game engines, where all of this was never a concern. You could focus on creativity, you could focus on leveraging all these engines on getting your physics correct as you want. And now with the age of AI, even these engines are going to be changing and rapidly. Like for example, Unity also has this inbuilt plugin called as Muse. Muse basically converts your prompt into full-fledged code, which is crazy if you think about it that way. So I think that is how you can actually integrate your AI into your work processes. Sort of.
It's like a co-pilot.
Yeah, yeah.
Great, great. So, Ashutosh, how are you using AI to speed up design and content generation in VR storytelling? So, basically, the question is all about when you think about creating uh, some content in virtual reality. How does AI help you to create contents in terms of storytelling, in terms of designing, in terms of the planning of entire project? How do you see AI is actually helping you in that scenario?
uh, it's a good question because early stages we were using people where they come and we tell them what exactly what we want. They takes time around 2 days 3 days to do visualization, creating storyline storyboard. Basically this is the how basically this functionality work, entire game physics, how basically games work. So in that time of span, so basically we takes around 1 week to visualize and understanding of the game and creating the references, searching from the Google and falana dimka we are using it. But now AI we are using chat gpt and other tools. So in that case we just giving the entire prompt from the entire process, just writing the basic things, and we are generating the image, we are generating the references, we are generating the codes, everything. We are generating the environment, giving the animation, and our 3D artist creating the tool, using the tool, creating a 3D stuff and 3D characters and giving the animation bone setup and everything very easily. So AI is just AI giving us the greater side to us, because we coming from the event industry where our clients need in games like 1 week. Of course, although they're not a big games or are, but of course in AR VR solutions in event industry, people are using, they need, for example, for cricket, so they're using for 6 balls, they just want to do the incorporate in their branding. So these are the things where we what exactly what we need. And in that case we just we giving the prompt to chat gpt or other tools, and they're just giving an entire visualization of the story, even the voiceover, what exactly voiceover you want in that game. So everything we are generating from the AI tool. Recently we deliver for one of our client, DHL. So in that case, we had created one pan of 1 week. That's it. So we created entire the factory with voiceover and everything. We generated 3D tools and voiceovers, everything, and we had delivered, and they were happy. We have delivered in very small of time, so they were very happy. So AI is helping us generating every each and everything. Of course, as Nikhil said and Weber said, we need one person to filterize the things, where we can create a platform, need a people who can define the code and define, yeah, exactly what, because AI tool is just throwing you the few things are there, we have to just pick and drop it and place it accordingly.
So basically, you are saying that you actually work for event industry. You provide technical services to companies, and your turnaround time is very less.
Yes, because they just come up and we need tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we have a event in few days. It's not possible, because you guys
Exactly,
are
exactly.
expert and you know very well things takes time. It takes time, as we are doing a lot of game other development, so it takes around 1 month 2 month 3 months time. But in our industry, they just need a, we have a 2 days, we have a 4 days of not AR VR or any other games. We also working on a lot of robotics. In that case, we we are training few bots, or we have a bots robots. We are making some small games or activity based game. So we don't have a time. We have a time 3 days. Recently we have a created XN0 TikTok to game where we have developed in 2 days with robots. Robots are picking physical XN0 and placing on the, and we had trained in 2 days. So it helped us more or less very innovative and very good time.
Great, great, great. Nikhil, we have another question actually from audience. What are some of the key ethical issues developers should keep in mind when using AI in game development?
I think from an ethics perspective, like majorly the question arises is in the mind of people, that will AI actually hamper the development cycle. A lot of people have this misconception saying that AI is going to replace everyone. No, it is not. Like you will have AI tools and all, but at the end of the day, there has to be some person who has to sit down and you utilize that tool. So I think from an ethical standpoint, I don't think there is any issue as of now, at least from the entertainment industry. From speaking from a larger technological perspective, definitely that the people who are making all these tools need to realize that someday AI shouldn't take over us, and they shouldn't hold us ransom for a fit of rage that we threw at AI. That oh my god, you're stupid. Don't call AI stupid. By the way, by all means, don't call AI stupid. That is what you need to keep in mind. But I think from a game developer's perspective, I don't think there is any ethical issues as such. As long as you're following processes, as long as your fundamentals are clear, I don't see a downside to it. Yes, there will be a lot of job disruption. Like for example, concept art generation, that can happen in a matter of seconds now.
Exactly.
Earlier, one concept art used to take minimum of a few days or a week's time, and then on top of that you have to go and revisit the changes and all. Now you can, an artist can sit, give a prompt, get a concept art generated, and then sit on that concept art and then start refining on that. So still that turnaround time becomes much shorter. That is what I think of it that way.
Great, great. So one open-ended question, since we are actually talking about artificial intelligence and human interaction is also required, right? It's nothing like you type something and your games will get created, your art will get created. You need a proper prompt. You need the proper sentences to form so that AI will generate content for you. So how do you see the balance evolving between AI-driven automation and human creativity in game design? Anyone can pick up.
uh, Weber, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thanks. That's amazing question actually because see, what I can think is AI is offering a lot of option, and then we are here to judge the right option or tweak them and then make them even better. So it's not like competition against human intelligence and AI. It's like you know a situation where AI is trying to offer a lot of things which we didn't have earlier, and then we should evolve in terms of every aspect of game design, whether it is concept art or whether it is creation of various characters, whether it is lighting, whether it is shading. You would get plethora of options, possibilities, and the timing is also getting cut shorter. So the best thing is, as we have these options, we have to make use of them in the best possible manner, and not to get confused because there's also a possibility that having a lot of options means that there's a chance of getting confused actually. So you've got to understand how in the best possible way you need to make use of these tools and come up with the product with less cost, with less time, and with the best outcome. So that's my take on taking AI, you know, you know, plugging it with analyzing it with our intelligence.
adding uh, to uh, Adding to Vaibhav's thoughts, what I feel is like moving forward, the communication, how we communicate, that is going to be super important. Like we always keep on saying that if there is one soft skill that is super important, like in life, that is communication skills. Okay, because that is how we are able to articulate ideas to another person. Now, prompt engineering is basically that you being able to communicate to the computer on how effectively you want your problem to be solved. So I think skills like English speaking, these are going to be super important subjects moving forward, because like grammatically you need to form proper sentences, ask the right set of questions.
This is what I wanted to add. As sorry, Nikhil, I am cutting you on this. So basically, this is actually I normally tell my artists, tell my team to focus on when they are prompting. So it's not about, there is no language barriers. So whatever language you know French, you know Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, any other languages, right? You need to just write, because your message has to be conveyed to the
But
engine, to the bots, yes.
Correct.
And then you'll get the art, then you'll get your content, right? So there is no language barrier when you're writing prompt.
Yeah.
People normally tends to think that we need to write everything in English,
Yeah.
right? There actually the mistake comes, and that time your sentence are not getting formed properly, and you are not getting desired output, and you say, okay, this is not working,
So
right? This
basically,
happens.
communication skills should be
Yeah,
like the
makes sense.
super important skill.
Exactly. So language is not a barrier when you are using artificial intelligence, and like Nikhil said, prompt engineer.
Yeah. There's one question, interesting question that has been asked by Francesca is, what are some of the main challenges developers face when trying to integrate AI into existing game engines? I think the biggest challenge is knowing the right set of frameworks, right? Like certain AI tools are good at certain tasks. You need to identify what these AI tools are. For example, like if someone wants to generate audio, I think 11 Labs has some very good audio, AI models.
modulation, there's a lot of good modulation in 11 lab.
Yeah, yeah. So 11 Labs is good for coding. Claude is much better than ChatGPT, at least for the code part of it. So just I think knowing the right set of pipelines to integrate AI into existing game engines, and it differs from engine to engine. Like I mentioned, Unity has a built-in AI tool called Muse that developers can basically use for prompt engineering, proper prompt engineering, actually giving it a prompt, and it will actually magically write like for loops and while loops and switch and all your inheritance and functions and all. It will do all of that for you. It is just like you spending some time figuring out how that system works, and it will do wonders for you. I think that's the way to go about it. Ashutosh, go ahead if you want to add anything.
Yeah, of course. So basically, there are a lot of tools we use for modulations, because in very lesser time we have to work on. So we have already tools like you mentioned, 11 Labs. So these are tools very important, playing role in our gaming development engines. We using very these things in very less time, and we are delivering it to client day by day. So helping us to creating all those games. These are the very important tools what we are using currently.
So I think as per Francisca's question, basically, what are some of the main challenges developers face when trying to integrate AI into existing game engine? So basically, game engine, which means games are
Unity.
already built, or maybe that he's talking about Unity or Unreal, it is already there, right? So I think existing code can be remodified through artificial intelligence, and existing artwork can also be remodified. So I don't think so that is an issue. If it is the engine he's talking about, then any engine we can use artificial intelligence in any engines, right? We just have to find the right co-pilot to work with.
Additionally, like it's also easy for you to debug. Like for example, if you have any sort of errors that you're facing, you can literally copy paste it entirely directly. And let's say for example, if you're facing any issues in Unreal Engine wherein you're dealing now with blueprints, wherein you don't have a code and you can't copy paste it, you can basically take a screenshot and just feed that screenshot to ChatGPT. It can do that for you. Yeah. And about Google AI Studio, you should definitely give it a shot. Like that screen capture feature, how you can literally talk to the
Real
AI.
time generating.
It's magic. It's magic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, so, Vaibhav, one question for you.
Yeah.
how do you ensure AI generated contents maintain quality and align with your requirement?
See, I mean, AI can't provide you everything, right? You need to have expert who can analyze and who can take a call that okay, whether that model or that piece of code is perfectly good or not. Of course, there are other tools which you can take help of, but ultimately it's the call of an expert. At least in current situation, it's like that. So you got to take a call with an expert, and then with his inputs, you can always take help of other AI tools or the same AI tool to tweak the existing problem and come up with a better result actually. So that's what I can say.
Acha, there is one more thing. Even you can ask ChatGPT to write your prompt correctly as well,
Yeah,
right? You just say, okay, I need a prompt on this, and you just type, okay, I need a prompt on this, and ChatGPT will actually write a proper prompt for image creation, content creation, whatever content you want, right? Nikhil, your take on it.
Yeah, so I think also I want to add one more fact is that I mentioned about multiple AI tools and all. ChatGPT is great. It's fantastic. It's a starting point into your world in AI. But what I want to urge people is to explore other tools as well. There are some fantastic tools out there that people are not even aware of right now. So I think if they are able to identify what tools work best for them, it is going to it has already started to disrupt the entire workflow. Timelines have started to reduce. So if we are going to see some very amazing output from games, and some of the most popular games that are going to be created in the near future are going to be games that are going to be using AI heavily in their framework. I remember one time when we were working on this small game called Temple of Causality. I remember we had used a couple of AI tools to generate a few models and some stuff here and there. We had used it in a very limited capacity back then, and we had submitted this game to Steam. And at that time, Steam rejected the game just because we had used AI tools. And within, I think, about 3 months of time, we resubmitted the game. And this time, Steam started accepting games that are made with AI. The only thing is now you have to mention promptly that you have used AI in certain capacity. So I think moving forward, again we are going to come in at a situation wherein there was a time wherein people were very concerned which like for example, developers are very concerned which game engines to use to make their games. But as a consumer, you don't care. You don't care what game engine you have used. Have you used Unity, Unreal? Probably the gamer doesn't even know what Unity or Unreal engine is. Like that, using AI in your framework, in your game development pipeline, is going to be a norm. And I think there is no shame in accepting AI into your current pipeline, because it's just going to make you much more efficient than what you are.
So I would like to ask from the future perspective, uh, since you all are from the different domains, right? Nikhil from AAA and working on big games, and Ashutosh from AR VR, and the Vaibhav also creating AAA along with gamifying contents as well. So now, what do you see the future of game development or content development using AI for from now till 2 to 3 years?
I think moving forward, cost of making games is going to be super duper cheap. Gone are the days when you have to look at geography. It doesn't matter now if you're making that game in India or sitting in the US. As long as you have like 100 or $150 budget, you can have subscription of these AI tools, and you can convert them into your basic employees, right? I mean, that is how you have to look at AI right now. You have to look at those tools also as your employee cost. Because these, if you don't have these at your disposal, then you are actually going to spend more human effort in trying to figure it out and all. So I think moving forward, AI tools are going to be integrated in almost all the pipelines, all the frameworks, and the people that are saying that AI is bad, AI is bad. These are also the people who are secretly using AI themselves in some
Correct.
capacity or the other. So it is pointless in arguing that whether AI is going to be used or not. It is definitely going to be used. And I think that will not restrict the creativity in any way. In fact, it is going to enable people to be more creative and focus on what matters the most, instead of worrying about my why is my physics engine not working, or why is this code snippet not working and not giving me this output.
Great. Ashutosh, your perspective.
Yeah, so of course it's a similar. We work on both same industry, so cost effective, uh, very less span of time we can create the game. Uh, Quality, of course, quality, because these tools are giving us uh, more futuristic and more expectation reality things what we are creating previously. So these three four things are very good for us, because clients are expecting in everything cost effective in a very less time, and they want some quality, because this they also see the industry and people are doing good in the industry, and they see these people are doing this, that people are doing this. So achievement, basically we are achieving those expectations in a very less span of time, the quality, the cost effective. So these are the things are important for us.
Acha, one more thing. From the indie game developer perspective, a small team can create big game using artificial intelligence, right? But my concern is in the coming years, uh, the speed of the development maybe faster than what is current we are working on at the moment. But do service industry survive at the same cost what they are actually taking for developing some content or some games at the moment and in the near future? Nikhil, your perspective on this?
So definitely there is going to, we are looking at a huge disruption in terms of getting all the costs down.
You understood you understood my question. My question is, when you're working with the last team and your development cost is too high, right?
Yeah,
And when using artificial intelligence, even you're working with the same team, but your development time becomes very less.
yeah.
At that time, what would be the client's perspective? You know, something
So
like
I
that.
think what comes into picture is this entire economics, demand and supply. Now suddenly, once you have a huge demand and there is limited supply, definitely there is still going to be that cost arbitrage that you can charge, especially as a service provider. Let's say, for example, if you're charging a client maybe $100,000, for example, perhaps that cost will come down for you. Your quotation will also change. Maybe from 100,000 you'll be able to provide that same service for $60,000, but at the same time you will be able to take on much more work than what you used to. So effectively you can take on, let's say, 3 or 4 projects in parallel, as opposed to you have to allocate all your resources for that $100,000 project, right? So now you can take maybe $60,000, 60,000, 60,000. So effectively you're making more than what you earlier used to, and without having extra overheads, right? So in that way, as a service provider, I think it's going to be a great wave that we are looking at in the next future. And a lot of these companies will also incorporate these AI tools into their existing pipelines, wherein they will just. I've seen a lot of companies actually doing this now, wherein they give a prompt to the AI tool and they get the desired output. So the cost of development is going to reduce, but at the same time, service providers will be able to take on much more work than what they possibly couldn't have in the previous years when AI was not present.
So you can serve to masses.
Yeah, because a set of expectation is also now increasing day by day.
Yeah.
People are thinking like, of course, Nikhil is doing good, so Nikhil also now setting up good benchmark, so people are also thinking that if Nikhil is doing, we also can do it. So these things are changing now, because this can be delivered within a time frame or the cost effective, as Nikhil said. So we have to set up the quality benchmark.
And you know what? Service providers can also have an option to try out different, different vendors. So that also can create a impact in the industry actually. So you can have choice of using multiple vendors instead of using only one, because now you have the budget. That can be disruptive as well. But overall, it's good for the ecosystem, and definitely there will be more jobs. And of course, you need the skill set for that. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Acha, one more open questions. Anyone can pick it up. So, like artificial intelligence future is there, everybody knows, right? Why some people are not accepting it at the moment and some people are accepting it?
Uh,
See,
yeah, yeah, well, good.
So
you know what?
there are people so there are two kind of people. One says, okay, we don't want artificial intelligence, we don't want to use it in our daily activities. Some are saying, okay, it is actually making our life very easy and we are using that at our in our day-to-day activities. So there are two different people, they're talking about different ways. So your takes on that?
See, if they don't accept the existence of AI, they would just wipe out. I mean, they won't stay in this industry actually because it's just impossible to compete with the AI. Unless only, I mean, there is no other alternative as far as I mean, general take. We are in magical times where we, I mean, can show or we can create what we can imagine. And that only happens when you have AI as your co-pilot. So I think it's impossible to say no to this new tech. Otherwise, you're just out of the game.
Then they will become a Nokia if they are not accepting Android.
No, true, that's true.
Because
So
industry is growing day by day with these tools and using AI. So that's the reason it's growing faster and faster. If you're not accepting this in this time frame, then we will be a very very lesser time. We cannot survive with the industry.
yeah, so basically the major fear about artificial intelligence is job loss, right? But for those people who don't know anything about artificial intelligence, unless and until they actually either they learn from some institute or they learn themselves, right? There are lots of negativities actually there on YouTube. One says, okay, artificial intelligence is doing this negativity things, and one says, okay, positivity things. So there are positive environment as well and negative environment as well. But the person
Who
who
all are
wants to use,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry. So who are training? We are training the Chat GPT because these are data. Whatever the data is provided on Chat GPT, it's posted by us only, industry only, not for like it's not generating automatically because we are giving those datas.
So I
okay,
think this is the best time to be an entrepreneur. Like if you're concerned about job loss, don't worry. You can basically just say no to jobs and start working on your own idea. This is the best time to be an entrepreneur. Genuinely, like if you're laid off from some company, just pick up a subscription of ChatGPT or Claude or whatever AI tools and start building your own games because there's no shortage for content consumption. If you can create a very good piece of content, people will accept it and they will start playing your game. They will start adapting your apps or whatever. Like it is genuinely the best time to be an entrepreneur. So if you're concerned about job loss, you're looking at a very micro perspective from that
See,
way.
if you
you
see,
you
if you see on Google Pay, so there is a small game, cricket game. It's a very small cricket game, but people are using as much as they can use because it's a very simple game. Just hit the ball. That's it. But people are using this. So basically, it's a consumer are there. We just have to give the audience something different, not different, but regular thing also. But people are accepting the crunch content also. People are see.
yeah, Vaibhav, your perspective.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like what we're in times where there are a lot of possibilities actually. Only imagination is the limitation. You know, and these are the magical times, as I said earlier. So we have to make best use of all the tools and come up with more engaging products. Because earlier we used to say that okay, yeah, I mean, this will take more amount of time, so that means it will take more amount of money actually. But that limitation is gone. So now you have more options, and you have tools which can create code within second. For example, if you want to create a game like Ludo, just prompt it rightly and it's bam, it's there. Snake and you can change those things creatively and create more versions of Ludo or create more versions of games which makes sense and which would have their own flavor. For example, there is a game called hopscotch, which can be used for teaching mathematics, and then you can have different flavors of hopscotch where you can teach addition, subtraction, multiplication through that particular game. That's how it is. So, I mean, how creative you are is something which you need to explore right now. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So apart from games, there are a lot of applications are being made. I think Duolingo is one of them where artificial intelligence has been used a lot. Where it is a lingo learning application where actually you are learning languages using artificial intelligence, and it is actually correcting your sentence when you speak in real time.
I mean, also
Correct,
we
in real
can.
time.
I mean, we can have localization within no time, because now AI can handle all the localization within no time. So you can create a AAA game with a localized version. You can create it for Japanese. You can create it for Spanish within no time. So that means that you're increasing your horizon to cater more and more customers, or more and more gamers you can offer your game to. So that's an amazing time, and this would definitely help our ecosystem.
And now talk about data analytics in game development. So how AI will actually help us in data analytics when working on online games and the games which we publish on Play Stores. Nikhil, your take on this?
So, what do you? AI has now become very good at reading data as well. You can literally feed large amounts of data to ChatGPT, and you can tell the ChatGPT that identify this data and give me what is the best, let's say, audience segment. Let's identify which is the best audience segment for me. Identify, like, if you have like events inside your game, you can take that event sheet, and instead of you having to read through everything, you can just give that sheet to AI, and you can tell that identify this entire sheet and give me what action pointer should I use to improve my game. So data analysis and all of that aspect wherein you have to make sense of large amounts of data, and you have to spend time as a human analyzing each and every bit. That is also getting much more faster. It's basically just dragging and dropping that file, and within a fraction of seconds you get all your data required, right? There's also this, along with ChatGPT, there was this tool called DeepSeek that was launched, right? Uh,
Yes.
Deep
for
Six China, yeah,
DeepSeek
from
China.
China.
So when it came, it was termed as the killer of ChatGPT and whatnot. But then taking certain features from DeepSeek, ChatGPT also integrated deep search into their framework, right? So deep search also enables you to do research on the entire of the internet. It's fascinating. When I was
Like
making
Grok.ai is also there. Yeah,
Hawk is also fantastic, right? By ex Elon Musk. I think making sense of data has become much more easier nowadays, and with deep search, you can analyze large amounts of data already available on the internet. Let's say, for example, you can feed data of your retention of your game, and you can ask any of the AI tools to reference games in your similar genre and ask how well your game is performing, and you can also ask what are the features that are there, competitor analysis, for example, right? That can also be done by AI.
yeah. So Ashutosh, your takes on this?
Of course, basically, data analysis is very important for developers or maybe the company owners who have developed the content, because mainly data is very important for us. So, analyzing the data, adapting the scenarios, and the character behaviors according to the if you're giving the gestures or any responses in the game, so analyze the data and everything, and AI work accordingly. So these things are very important data analysis in the day-to-day basis activities.
Yeah. So Vaibhav,
Yeah, of course. I mean, as these gentlemen said, I mean, AI generates big amount of data, and it can be responsible for the same. So, analyzing data has always been a problem, actually. So we are using technologies like big data and otherwise, where using them was a big problem earlier. But now, with new algorithms, with the help of AI, so that has created a lot of impact in the existing analytics. So with the help of AI and AI generated algorithms, actually, we can quickly make use of all the computations, which would make a lot of sense for us, in terms of analyzing that. Okay, where the target audience is, and how should I, can I customize my game towards that particular audience, or can I do quick alterations to service them? So all sorts of mechanisms would definitely help us out in terms of getting the right feedback quickly, if the analytics are set right.
So from conceptualization till finishing of the game,
Mhm.
launching of the game, marketing of the game, and data analytics, everywhere artificial intelligence are being used and gonna
Absolutely.
be used.
Yeah, it's a game
Right?
changer.
Yeah, it's a game changer. And monetization, from this, the monetization will become better.
Of course.
Will become better, yeah. Because you, from the data, you are actually understanding your audience,
Yeah.
and you are catering your audience with the right content you want to deliver to your audience.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Great. Nikhil,
Yeah.
one question from everybody's, about, so about MG, Mumbai Gullies
Yeah.
perspective. Uh, how do you see you are patching them all the mini games together and releasing one bunch?
Yeah.
What are the timelines you are actually looking at it?
So with Mumbai Police, what we identified was that we probably, if, when we started out, we had a lot of passion, but passion does not translate into you knowing everything about how things work. We've tried and tested a couple of things, and now what we've realized is, instead of approaching the game as a whole, as a bigger game, we realized that we've come up with some very interesting mini games within the game itself. Like, these are systems like shooting, these are systems like driving, etc., etc. So what we've decided now is, we will be focusing on creating micro games in this larger concept of Mumbai Gullies. These are still games that are based in Mumbai Gullies itself, right? But what will happen with these is that people will get a flavor and a sense of what the entire city looks like, what the entire map looks like, and they will be able to be a part of making the game better as we move forward. So instead of us launching Mumbai Gullies and probably not having the best systems in place, we are refining all these systems individually, standalone, and trying to come up with, as we move forward, we refine the systems and put them back into Mumbai Gullies as a whole package. So that's what's going on.
Great. So, guys, we had an amazing session with Ashutosh from 360 Bright Media, Nikhil Malankar from Game On Studios, and Vaibhav Mahajan from Abracadabra Solutions. So, yeah, it was really insightful session where actually we spoke about artificial intelligence thoroughly, how to use artificial intelligence in game development. And thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank you
team.
so much, Anand Ji, for inviting us.
Most welcome.
Most
Thanks
welcome.
a lot, Anand. Thanks a lot
Yeah,
for
bye.
having us.